The year is 2014. We left 2013 with Let It Go playing everywhere. We got the release of the Xbox One and PS4. Vine was blowing up on our phones, and I'm still a Dragon Ball fan. And also Rooster Teeth was there as well.
Lower your hand.
Yeah, we got it. Alright.
You got the heart. Damn it! Are you serious?
Yes, I'm back recapping all the significant events in the Dragon Ball fandom during 2014. Videos from 2010 to 2013 are available to watch, if you haven't watched them yet. Also, I just want to say thank you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. It's a big deal to me, but I'll talk about that towards the end. Now, let's continue on. Beginning in January with the weekly release of the Dragon Ball GT anime comic. It was released in Japan, and oddly, it starts from the Shadow Dragon saga. Also in the same month, Team 4-Star is on episode 39 of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, with the androids humbling Vegeta.
Flat on your ass. That's pretty sad.
Sad for you!
A little bit after that, Battle Z has come out, and if you pre-ordered the game, then you would have received the Super Saiyan Goku in his Naruto costume. Very similar to the Naruto Goku costume that I've talked about in the previous videos. And I know people regard this game as one of the worst games from this franchise, but to that I say, you should have gotten a PS Vita version and a PS Vita. Like, the game seemed like it was downscaled just because of this handheld, but anime games were just selling well on this platform. Kinda weird to admit, this was the very first game that I've ever pre-ordered, and the game store almost forgot to give me the Super Vegeta and Super Saiyan Bardock bonus characters. I know the game has massive amounts of issues, mainly the AI during co-op missions, but in the end, I was happy playing a Dragon Ball game on a handheld, and that it had gameplay unlike Ultimate Tenkaichi. In February, and this is according to the fandom wiki, so please correct me if this is incorrect, the colored copies of the Dragon Ball manga was released in the US. I'm actually kind of surprised at how quick this came out as compared to most Dragon Ball media. We're heading into March with the release of J-Star's Victory Versus. It was an anime arena fighting game that featured at least 3 or less characters from various shonen manga. Goku, Vegeta, and oddly Frieza were included. Maybe this was a bit of unintentional foreshadowing for the next Dragon Ball Z film? This was released on the PS3 and PS Vita, but it was exclusive to Japan. Needless to say that the international anime gaming community was begging for this to be released outside of Japan. On April 4th, Jaco the Galactic Patrolman got its physical manga release in Japan, and this would feature the Dragon Ball Minus manga. You know, the one that features Goku's mom for the first time ever. But what's really cool was that after 2 days, Viz Media was able to serialize the series weekly in English, which kinda revealed that Japan was progressing in simul-releasing the content over to here. But we did end up getting content that was at first limited to here. And I'm talking about the first stage release of the Hyper Dragon Ball Z Mugen game. Honestly, I've seen gameplay for it, but I've never really downloaded it for myself. I know that it's improved significantly since then, but I feel like it's a game worth playing with someone else, and I find it challenging to get someone that is willing to join and play a game like this with me. But tell me, what do you guys think if you've already played it? Also at the time, Dragon Ball CaC is brought back in Japan, and to finish what it had started by continuing the story on from the Buu saga, through Toriko's time slot. Sadly, that series ended due to having a low viewership, which might explain why it had numerous crossovers with One Piece, including the collaboration that I talked about in the last video featuring Dragon Ball Z. However, there are some big changes from this version of CaC to the original, mainly that they're not reanimating scenes, instead just putting a filter on top of the footage, obviously to save time on animation, and in reflection, early Dragon Ball CaC was kinda not that great looking, unlike the Cell arc where it looked really good. Also worth noting, the soundtrack uses some of the instrumentals from the Battle of Gods film, as well as other familiar tracks for another series down the road. So one thing that I've admitted in the last video when I brought up the Japanese release for the colored Dragon Ball manga was that they had included interviews by Toriyama, and these were basically lore expansion stuff. So the biggest thing he had revealed at this point was Android 17's and 18's real names, Lapis and Lazuli. This also revealed that 17 turned into a park ranger after the Cell arc. And in a different interview, he also revealed that number 16 is actually modeled after Jiro's dead son. So these were crazy lore dumps that we got back then. Moving on, if you were upset about Goku losing to Superman and Screwtax's death battle, then maybe you'll like him roasting and rhyming against the Man of Steel on epic rap battles of history. And yes, that is Ray William Johnson as Goku. who you either know him as the former most subscribed YouTuber on the platform, or the guy who does the true crime stories on TikTok. Overall, I thought the rap battle was fine, but I think I preferred the others.
Hear me about fights, you cave coward. You got your ass beat by a bat with no powers. There's only one way that this battle's gonna end. One more Superman who's never gonna walk again.
On May 21st, a new Dragon Ball game was announced, and one of the most talked about things were the images that were revealed along this announcement, mainly this one. It should be obvious who's that meant to be without any hindsight, but I swear to God the amount of comments insisting that was future Trunks or Gohan in Super Saiyan God form. We'll get back to that in a little bit. On May 30th, Funimation finally got the rights to the Battle of Gods film. Besides Dragon Ball Z CaC and the games, I think the last time Dragon Ball got an official dub was when they did GT and the movies that were released coincided. So this was pretty big. Just as big as the sin counter as Dragon Ball Evolution received from CinemaSins. I know now there's a bit of negative stigma towards this channel for basically boosting contrarian takes on films. However, this video is straight up good, and they even broke their rule of never referring to the original source material by showing almost everything that the movies did that strayed away from it. 4 days after that, we got the E3 announcement for Dragon Ball XenoVerse. Not only were there people who still said that the guy in the end was Super Saiyan God Gohan or Trunks, even when V-Jump did the facial scan reveal, but they also kept comparing the gameplay to Battle of Z, which by the way, the Battle of Z comparison stopped after the game was released. But if you thought that was kinda cringe, wait until you hear about what happened when the English Battle of Gods trailer came out. The trailer was perfectly fine, but IGN used to do this thing called Rewind Theater, where they would kinda do frame by frame analysis on trailers. Well, they got these so-called Dragon Ball fanatics to analyze the Battle of Gods trailer.
And we are two of IGN's huge Dragon Ball Z fans. Get to see Frieza and Super Saiyan Goku. Is this Super Saiyan 2? Huh? If you listen closely, though, it sounds like maybe the same voice actor isn't doing Vegeta.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing because that's pretty much half of his characters, because you have that voice actor who's able to put so much great emotion into the character.
What? What the f?
Let's go through a bit of a detox now of the announcement teaser of the new Dragon Ball Z movie.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
And after that, there was a red carpet premiere for Battle of Gods in Los Angeles, along with his limited theatrical run from August 5th to 7th and 9th. And it's kinda cool to recall the early stages of Dragon Ball being shared with the West again. Except for Dragon Ball Heroes Ultimate Mission 2 on the 3DS. Yeah, it got a sequel and they still don't want to sell it over to here. I guess this is deserved when oddballs within our side of the fandom kept making ludicrous theories like this dude is Super Saiyan God Gohan. Which, by the way, they finally revealed through leaked scans that, yeah, he was a custom character. And there are more XenoVerse leaks revealing other races for the game. A month later, XenoVerse had a closed test beta. In reality, it was more the game's alpha. The whole point was to test the limits of XenoVerse Online, and annoyingly, it was only exclusive to the PS3. And the year prior, my PS3 got the yellow beam of death. So I missed out on this.
There's no lag to me. There was absolutely no lag, and it's funny too because I was playing on the Japanese server where it should have lagged.
Are you sure about that?
On September 22nd, XenoVerse got an extended cut trailer at TGS, which showcased so many of the game's features, as well as revealing that this is part of the Dragon Ball Online circle with Time Patroller Trunks in there. I also wanted to point out how awesome this trailer was just for this very moment here.
One that spans all eternity! Through adventure and training, you will one day stand victorious! Can you bring back the Dragon Ball timeline and restore those epic battles to the legends of history? And take back the Dragon Ball world! Dragon Ball XenoVerse!
Towards the end of September, Dragon Ball Heroes kinda just reveals a horror teaser trailer for this new character. I'm honestly convinced that this was supposed to be released around Halloween time. On October 7th in the US and November 10th in the UK, the Battle of Gods Blu-ray and DVD is finally released, so we can finally enjoy this movie legally at home. Okay, so I need clarifying for this part, but at some point in 2014, Dragon Ball Z Funko Pops were released, but I don't know the specific date for when they released it though. But collecting them did become a bit of an addiction for me for a while. But I can mention that the Planet Arlia Vegeta Funko Pop was released exclusively at San Diego Comic-Con from October 9th to 12th, and last time I checked, this was one of the rarest Funko Pops to exist. Just crazy to think that a color era from the 80s led to this. Around this time, GoPros were becoming evidently more mainstream, so K&K Productions made a video called Goku with a GoPro. They even referenced Goku vs Superman as well.
Oh, you're slow! Jerk.
On November 18th, the poster for the new Dragon Ball Z movie was revealed and featured Frieza. The title was called Fukastu no F, which translates to Resurrection of F. Listen, when this came out, I'm pretty sure I had to double check online whether this thing was even real, because how can someone like Frieza, who was the second strongest character in the Frieza saga, rival up against Goku, Vegeta, and just almost everyone else? 2 days after that was Dragon Ball's 30th anniversary. As far as I'm aware, there wasn't much to celebrate this occasion, and if anyone's going to refer to the 30th anniversary book, then spoiler alert for the 2016 video, it for some reason came out in 2016, because I don't know. To further prove that the Resurrection of F poster wasn't a hoax, a teaser trailer was revealed in December. It still did not answer any of my questions though, but it's interesting to see how one of the most iconic villains from this franchise makes his grand return. On December 19th, Screwtac is back at it again with bullying the Dragon Ball fandom with Kirby vs Majin Buu. Honestly, I was surprised by how strong Kirby can be, but besides Goku vs Superman where I grew up to respect the outcome, I had to call straight shenanigans on this one. I remember people pointing out how they got some of the statistics wrong for Majin Buu, but my issue was the leap from Majin Buu transforming straight into Kid Buu was just false. There's gotta be an evil Buu, and then a Super Buu, and then whatever else comes after that. Luckily, that's not the last memorable moment of 2014 featuring Majin Buu, as Dragon Ball Kai in Japan is on episode 39, with Super Gotenks fighting Super Buu. If you don't mind me, let me rewind 6 days ago for the special announcement. Yes, we asked for it and we got it, and that's something to look forward to for the 2015 video. And that is it. That is everything that I can think of that has happened in the Dragon Ball community during 2014. Thank you so much for watching the video, and thank you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers, which I think now it's over 1,100, which is incredible to me. Just today, YouTube just reviewed my monetization status and they gave me the go-ahead. So yes, I can kind of make money off of these videos, and it's all thanks to you and all your support on these videos. Like, I know what it's like to have a bit of a bigger following because I have over 10,000 followers on TikTok, but having over 1,100 on YouTube just seems like a bigger deal to me, if that makes sense. I'm going to continue making these videos. I'm going to be working on the 2015 video next. But because of the increased amount of content I'm discovering for each year, it might be that the videos might take a longer time to be created. And this is technically my second longest video yet on this channel, but I think this is the most I've edited on any Premiere Pro timeline like ever. But to help with the YouTube uploading schedule, I might upload some content that is not so heavily edited but still around the same level of quality as this one right here, and it might be more related to Daima and Sparking Zero's release. So all in all, thanks for watching and see ya next time.